thought it was time for a new addition to what we normally use for mediumship. As you know, we use these mediumship cards here. Each card has a pre-written message on it, and then when we shuffle them, Spirit manipulates them and places those cards in order to provide a message. Also, we've got these Kanzari cards here that we can go into more depth. Spirit can maybe convey a bit more of a detailed resume or appraisal, or whatever you want to call it there, and tell us a bit more about maybe how they died or what was really going on that we didn't know about, and also maybe what's going on now. We then moved on to the spirit lamp, or the seance lamp here, that was devised many moons ago. Here's a penny from an old English penny from the time when it was going there. That's Queen Victoria's face there. The newspapers at the time were very controversial because Edison, who actually was the pioneer of a lot of things what we got today, was also a spiritualist, and what was into this communication through electronics and things like that. Here, of course, the seance lamp, or the electromorphic communication device, as was called back then. That's a reproduction of it there. We now use a 9-volt battery on it. Edison, of course, pioneered this, and you have to remember that your televisions and your radios and all things like that all came from the ancient spiritualist ways of trying to communicate through electronics. It was through their experimentation in trying to communicate with our loved ones on the other side that they accidentally discovered television and all the other things, even maybe the internet to some degree, that we're using now. That was Edison back then, of course, and this led to experiments with by some gentlemen here who experimented with the electromorphic communication device. Spirit experiments commenced to try and communicate by raising the energies, and then, I don't know if you can see this here, the wires, the circuit is deliberately broken there, and then energies, when raised, cross that gap and light the bulb. Literally, it's as simple as that. But of course, nobody believed it, nobody thought it would work. We've had varying results. I put stress on that. But these experiments continued, and then, of course, it was down to the gentleman who invented it to go further, and used to go to graveyards and things like that to try and communicate with the other side secretly to see if he could get any other information. Of course, sadly, he was I suppose caught red-handed, and sadly sentenced to death. What a terrible indictment on humankind when we do that sort of thing to each other. And this really leads us on to the modern day, doesn't it? And what's going on there. We can just place this to the side, because the modern day equivalent is, I suppose, laughed at to some degree, but it's just as controversial. We'll just move the seance lamp to the side there, and we may be using that again, of course, very soon. I deliberately did, just for the sake of respect more than anything, I did deliberately withdraw use of that, because either the energies weren't raised enough, or I don't know what was going on. Something was going on, but I couldn't quite put my hand on it. We'll try again, maybe at a later date. This case here contains I.T.C research equipment, ghost hunting equipment, as is often the term. I.T.C being instrumental transcommunication. Notice here it's a nice case here, nicely padded and kitted out here. At the moment, the equipment that we've got, of course, is still really in the packaging. We've only really just got to charging up the speaker here, this Bluetooth speaker that we will use, that they recommend it use an extension speaker in conjunction with ghost boxes, spirit boxes, as the PSB7 spirit box here. We'll use that, and also an external little plug-in type speaker there. We can probably, at least we've got a choice there. Also, we've just got another ghost box here with the PSB7 being an AM FM radio. We've also just got an FM ghost box there. It does the same job as the FM part of this does, but I just thought we'd give ourselves the option. This here is a Bluetooth transmitter, so we can plug that into the socket, the output of the spirit box, ghost box devices there, and then it says there I.T.C research equipment or device, whatever. We can use that, and then it means we can carry this speaker around wireless, as you would literally in that sense. So that's got a nice little charge on it there. All mod cons now, isn't it, with the Bluetooth and whatever. The first thing, of course, we're looking at last is this EMF, electromagnetic field detector, the K2. This is an early one, and when we switch it on, the lights come on and then settle down. And if you hold it up to a mains device or a television or anything electronic that's switched on, those lights will gradually increase and more lights will come on and so on. And also spirit, when the energy levels rise, spirit will also hopefully provide some input there. This finally here is basically an MP3 recorder. I usually do my shopping lists on it and make notes with it. It's easier than writing anything down, but this has got a nice fresh charge on it here, and we've just set the clock, so we've this just takes ordinary AAA's. The other ghost boxes take AAA's too, and this basically is literally that. We can use this for recording EVP, electronic voice phenomena. I did have some results when I was doing Ouija board on the last test recording before, and he picked something. It's basically just a digital recorder, and everybody's got one of these, so you could start straight away with one of these, and we just simply leave it in a silent room for an hour or two and then come back and see what we've got. Alternatively, the better of the options is to just record for 5 minutes, ask questions. Obviously the answers will be, there'll be no answers, they'll be silent, won't it, when you're asking the questions, and then of course you listen to the recording to see if there are any answers in return. Of course, to listen to any answers in return, you could plug it into the microphone socket of a camcorder. I haven't got a microphone input on this particular camera that I'm using here. So it's a case of asking questions here, maybe when we're doing mediumship readings, and then playing it back if there are any results, if there's anything being said, if there are any signs of voices saying something. I suppose we could play back the recording after and edit the video with audio dubbed over the top with, I don't know, a picture of something, a still picture, just at the end of the setting, if there are any results. So we probably might do that, and when we're doing mediumship cards, Kanzari cards, we can with the mediumship readings and Kanzari readings, we can leave an EVP recorder, as you would say, just there on the side, and of course with the EMF detector. With the spirit boxes, these are still spirit box, ghost box, however you want to refer to it there. They are still a work in progress. They're just still boxed really at the moment, so I've just organised everything in this case to the best of my abilities, just so I've got some sort of organised chaos going on, and then we know where everything is, and of course instantly going to, I suppose it's a bit like how you pack a rucksack, isn't it? You grab the first thing that you first check if there's spirit present. If you're out on location or whatever in the field, you can check for electromagnetic fields. Of course, when you check for electromagnetic fields, it isn't just spirit that can interfere with electromagnetic fields. If you are sitting next to a mains outlet, the electromagnetism from the mains outlet can have an effect on your brain, on the alpha waves, and literally give you the sense as though there's somebody there watching you, or there's a presence. So sometimes these things can be explained, and that does help, because it does save a lot of time in a lot of cases. But for now, I think we will. I just had a respect for spirit, because spirit, no doubt, will, I'm sure, eventually come through. Maybe for you, when we are doing some settings. We'll just close everything up, and maybe of course we'll use the spirit lamp here, the seance lamp, at some later date as well. But for now, if you need a mediumship reading, or a Kanzari appraisal, a Kanzari reading there, it may help to give the name of the soul that you want to contact, and that way we can get straight in there and we all know who we're talking to. It does help to know these things. So with that, we'll say farewell for now. Love as the law, love as the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we part, and merry may we meet again.